Good morning. Today is a very windy Monday, the 20th of April, 2020. I'm standing with you today from outside of Bevis Marks Synagogue, outside of the gates. The gate today is an iron gate. Originally, it was been made out of wood. This gate dating back to the 19th century. One of the other changes to the gate is the facade above. Of course, the stone originally would have been above the stones directly above the arch, but when this building was built in the 1980s, it was separated out so that it would continue to be visible by the street. But in fact, of course, there's something more significant about this gate, because of course that's the actual name of the community, Sha'ar Hashamayim, which means the gate of heaven. The synagogue is known as Bevis Marks because that's the name of the street upon which the synagogue is built, but the actual name of the community is Sha'ar Hashamayim, the gate to heaven. And of course, that language, Sha'ar Hashamayim, is based on the verse in Genesis with the dream of Jacob and the ladder, where he says, "Ma nora hamakom hazeh, en zeh ki im bet Elokim b'zeh Sha'ar Hashamayim." How awesome is this place? It is no other than the house of God, the gate to heaven, of course, being upon the Temple Mount. And so the idea being that this synagogue, as indeed every synagogue in place of the ancient temple in Jerusalem, is a mikdash ma'at, a small temple, and continues to be a portal to heaven. And so the question is why did the founders of our community decide to name our community Gate of Heaven? That could be the name of any synagogue anywhere in the world. And it seems that perhaps it had to do with the actual location of the synagogue itself. Many Spanish and Portuguese synagogues were often known as something Yisrael, She'erit Yisrael, Mikveh Yisrael, Yeshuat Yisrael. But some of the earlier ones from the mid-1600s often had more unique type names. In fact, one of them, the earliest synagogue in the Americas, was in Recife, Brazil. And that synagogue was known as Tzor Yisrael, a play on words of Recife, which means rock, and Tzor Yisrael, which means the Rock of Israel, a euphemism for God. And so here in London, too, I believe, this is just my own theory, that the same thing occurred as well. In fact, Bevis Marks is where the Wall of London stood. So the synagogue was built just within the historic walls. And of course, there were gates that led outside of the walls. And so down to my right was Aldgate, and to my left was Bishopsgate, and that's still the name of the streets where those gates used to be. And so what I imagine is that the founders of our community looked around and they saw all of these gates leading to different places, and they thought, well, that's all nice, but this is the gate to heaven. This is the gate to God. And so they named the community Sha'ar Hashamayim, a play on words of all the gates that were in the neighborhood. And so, of course, I continue to pray here each day, ensuring that Bevis Marks continues to be a portal to heaven for our prayers, having in mind, of course, everyone, but looking forward to when everyone can come back together and we can pray together as a community, truly fulfilling the purpose of our synagogue as a gate to heaven. And so I wish everybody well, continued health, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.